Hey, Tim, Perry, how are you? Thanks for joining Stories from the River. Great to have you.
Well, I'm happy to be here, and thank you for having me today, Kim.
So it's certainly an honor to have you sitting across from me to talk about Nine Family Focus.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
For our listeners, Tim Perry is the Director of Sales for CMG Charlotte, and you'll just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay. Well, I'm Director of Sales, so my job is to manage the revenue effort for 3 TV stations. One of them is WSOC, Channel 9, and it's a market-leading television station, the home of Eyewitness News. And then we have WAXN TV 64, it's our independent station. And we have a little gem called Telemundo Charlotte, which is our Spanish language product. And then we have a digital agency called Local Solutions, and my job is to manage all of those and monetize all the hard work that so many people put into it.
Okay. So before we get started, tell me a little bit about you personally. So how did you wind up here? And also we're going to talk about what you did for summer vacation too. We're going to get into a lot of things right now. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, I spent my whole career in the media business, and I've lived in every time zone in the continental U.S., and I've been very blessed. I've lived in some real garden spots, and where my family couldn't be happier to be here in Charlotte. My 5-year anniversary happens this week, as a matter of fact.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes,
That's great.
In the broadcast television business, where I've spent most of my career, I've actually been in a number of media enterprises. There's a rich culture there of community service. And even at WSOC, when you look at those call letters, WSOC stands for We Serve Our Community. So community service is something that I was very blessed to have in my career as well as in my personal life. And it's just been baked in through the years where we're able to do things with the power of media that make a difference in quality of life. And that's one of the commitments that our industry has to the communities that we serve, and one that I'm very proud to be a member of.
So, Director of Sales, that's a pretty big job, right? But that's so the community, that's on top of your day job.
Yeah, that is exactly. Well, I have to tell you, the community part is the part that lifts your heart and will roll you out of bed in the morning.
Sure.
Because when we look at our program, the Nine Family Focus, it addresses community issues in a real world way, and I love, there's a number of nonprofits that do stunning, amazing things every day. But I really like being associated with things that you can touch and you can actually see at the end of the day the result. And something like a happy child it goes a long way. It goes a long way to inspire you to want to do more.
Yeah. Well, at Broad River, which is Ashley to the public, so we have partnered with Nine Family Focus, and that's what I want to talk a lot about today, because there's so many good nuggets about this program, this year-long program. It's not just one and done. Our purpose at Broad River is furnishing life's best memories, and so we have so many folks inside our 4 walls that love to give back to the community, and they can do that in the Charlotte area with Nine Family Focus as a partnership. So talk to us about those programs that are going quarterly and year-long.
Well, first of all, when you look at it in an overarching sense, Family Focus is a community partnership, and it's made possible by partnerships like the one we have with you. I don't know if you know this or not, but Ashley is our longest tenured sponsor and supporter.
Gosh. Okay.
Yes, Family Focus.
I know it had been a long. It predates me. But
I can't find anybody to tell me when it started. Okay.
Yes.
but you Ashley, Broad River Retail, you have big hearts, and you're walking your talk, and we feel you at Nine Family Focus. We have a number of partnerships that make it possible. And we're very blessed to have these partners. Some of them are good corporate citizens like Ashley. We have Charlotte Gastro and Hepatology, very committed to the community. Arby's got on board with us the last couple of years, phenomenal partner because of the donation barrels at their different locations. And then we made a new friend this year called Dash, who helps us to go get those barrels and make sure they get to the distribution points. But we work with a number of nonprofit groups, and we really rely on them in many ways. So that once we use the big voice that we have with 3 TV stations and a digital agency to invite the community to participate in this, and the resources come in, they have to get to the right people. And so we have a number of nonprofit groups that help us with that, getting what we do to the people who really need it. And then there's just the community itself. I mean, we are so blessed to live in a place that has heart the way the Carolinas has really walked their talk, and what we've seen in Family Focus. Whatever we need, the community steps up, and they just want to make sure that everybody's taken care of. The program is created with 4 major initiatives, and as you said, it's year-long, and each one of them gets a focus like on a quarterly basis.
Right.
The youngest initiative we have is the 9 Books Drive. And the 9 Books Drive, its focus is to help children that are in need, that are in households, that a book is a luxury for them. And so our objective is to raise and get enough books so that good partners like Promising Pages is able to go and distribute these books to the households that are going to need them, especially in the summertime, where there's a hyphen between the ability.
There's a gap.
Yeah, for these children to be able to read. They don't have the books in their homes until we
Go back to school, right?
Yeah, and so that's our youngest program, and that one's 7 years old, and we just finished that one, and we raised 3,000 books, thanks to the good people of Charlotte.
Okay.
And our partners. Another of our initiatives is the 9 Family Food Drive, which is near the time our country's been through a lot in the last few years, and one of the recent things we've been navigating has been just the inflation that's really impacted a household's ability to put food on the table and how far their dollars go. And the good people at the Second Harvest Food Bank of Metrolina, they've told us that they're literally experiencing right now double the number of bags of food that they're distributing to households right now, because there's so many folks out there that are having a tough time making ends meet.
The dollars aren't stretching, and there's such a gap and a need there.
And they need help, and again, so proud of the fact that we live in a place where people are willing to give it. And then we have our chief meteorologist, Steve Udelson, has the Steve's Coats for Kids.
Yes.
And now it's a 19-year effort.
That's incredible.
19 years, yes. And Steve's last coat drive raised 29,000 coats. And we work with good people like Crisis Assistance Ministry. They help us with the distribution, but again, it is our partners, it's the community that makes this possible. And what's so heartwarming is when you see these children choose their coats, and it's like choosing puppies.
Wow.
they're so excited when they get them.
That perfect coat.
It's yours.
Right.
It's your coat. You chose it. And the longest lived initiative is the 9 Schools Tools, which 26 years old this year.
Okay.
Okay. And this initiative is live right now. This one's active.
Yes.
It's going on right now through August 31st. And our last drive, we generated 40,000 school supplies, the different things. And what's so helpful here is, again, looking at those households that are just trying to make ends meet. They go to class and they get a list of all the supplies that the teacher says, we're going to need these this year. It's expensive.
Exactly.
And what happens with so many good people we work with, Classroom Central being one of our primary partners in this effort, we fill little backpacks with all the supplies that they need, and again, they choose a backpack. And that's another moment where you just can't have enough Spider-Man backpacks out there, that type of thing.
Or Barbie now for the
Barbie,
right?
Yeah, we got to go. We got to get
Barbie
Barbie in the game in a big way. She's
Yes.
going to be in demand. It's a
Yes,
hot ticket. Barbie's
it's a hot ticket right now.
But those are the 4 primary initiatives that we have, and every year, we live in a community that I think the data is about 100 people a day are moving to Charlotte.
It's
Well,
because it's a great place to live.
it's a magnificent place to live, and we have jobs.
Yes.
And so we have folks moving to town, and as that happens, the dynamic of life happens, and then support is sometimes required in a household, and thanks to the family focus program, there are a lot of people who are able to be helped because of all the care and the giving that goes into from the partners to the very community that we work with.
So tell our listeners how that process works. So we partner with you and others partner with you, and there are 4 programs. Tell us about the bins that come in, where they go. It's not that elves show up and it just magically happens and things get distributed. So tell us a little bit about that process.
Family focus is a lot of small efforts that come together to make a collective, very large effort. And it starts in a variety of ways. I mean, one with our major partners like Ashley. You actually are a place where the donations are deposited. And I know you personally have delivered these barrels.
Yes.
I know that you,
yes.
I don't know what kind of car you drive, but I imagine this gets full in a hurry.
Yes, I have an SUV, yes.
Good. The team needs it.
Needed.
The partners like Arby's, like yourself, the Charlotte Fire Departments, which also have the barrels, the community, and then smaller groups will put together their own efforts. We have, one of the dynamics that we see are micro efforts, like someone in a neighborhood book club puts together an effort. Someone in a church group puts something together. Someone in a cycling club puts something together, and then they deliver all the supplies or the books or the food or the coats, whatever the drive may be. They'll take them to Ashley. They'll deposit them in the barrels, and then they get collected. And as you know, it happens a lot. I mean, we have a very generous community. And so that's where we, honestly, probably the most challenging part of this process is getting the resources to our nonprofit partners so they can get distributed to the people who need them. Because as you know, lugging a barrel full of food is not easy.
It's not easy. And I get the emails or the calls that say, they're telling me, hey, our barrels are overflowing. And I'm like, they just picked those up. And they're like, yeah, they're full again. I'm like, okay, well, that's a great problem to have.
Oh, it's exactly the best way to define it. And we have, literally in our world, we have account executives. We have people in the newsroom. We have all over the station. We have people that are, I can go today.
Yes.
I can go today because, to your point, bam, these things, they get full in a hurry. But it is a labor of love.
Yes.
And in the end, I can't express enough the gratitude of the people who receive the benefit of these resources. I mean, when you see these families that basically we have solved one of their problems with one of these drives, we're all willing to drive down to Ashley's and go get the barrel today.
Yes, that's correct. So the next steps that we've taken, it was 9 family focus. We supported with bins and stores. Now we're getting to the volunteer piece of the puzzle, which is very exciting. Our memory makers love to give back in their time, and it's just so rewarding. So for the listeners here, how can people get involved with some of these programs and volunteering, and what's the best way in contact, phone calls? How does that work?
Well, there's a spectrum of opportunity. Some, to speak to the point of volunteering, the nonprofits that we work with, they always need help. They always do. We have on the WSOC.com website, when you go to our webpage, there's a section for community. If you click community, you go to family focus.
Okay.
And then in family focus, you see the different tiles there that represent the 4 different initiatives. If one of them appeals to you more than another, and that's the one you want to lean into, you click that tile, and then there's access to information. Coats for Kids, as an example, Steve has gotten a complete step-by-step process on how you can create your own drive to
wow.
contribute to the bigger drive. I mean, it's well written. It's, the steps are there. So if you got a new pickleball team or a pickleball league, that wants to do something for the community and you want to get engaged, we will welcome you. We want your help. We want you to be engaged. Go to the Coats for Kids site. Go to the Steve's instructions. Have your own drive, and then you can donate.
Okay.
Go to Ashley's.
Yes, we'll tell you all about those donation programs. They would sure be happy to do that.
Yeah, you've got great ambassadors there that can help, and so those are the ways that the community can get involved. And fortunately for us, we have an engaged community. But I will say, it just seems that the need continues to grow.
Yeah.
As we look at some of the initiatives that we have. Resources for a lot of our members of our community, they're very challenged. And this is a way for us to help. And every year we want to help a little more than we did the year before. That's our goal.
Do you have a favorite story to tell? Is there something that really impacted you? If you're looking across the time that you've spent at WSOC with Non-Family Focus, was there something that really tugged at your heartstring more so than another time that you could share?
It's always, to me, it's the children.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you see the children get engaged, I mean, you look at what a family's navigating, and if you're a beneficiary of one of these programs, you're navigating some challenges, and to see whether it's I know this might for some people it might be incredulous, but to see their faces when they get books.
Right.
I mean, you would think there's just delight, but it's in totality. It's just every time the children are engaged and you see them receive these gifts, whether they're the coats or the backpacks with the school supplies or the books, I have the same feeling every time, and every time it's just, I'm so grateful that we live where we live. I'm grateful to be in an environment like the one that I'm in at WSOC, CMG Charlotte. I'm grateful that we've got a general manager, Cedric Thomas, who's committed to serving the community. And a lot of colleagues. I mean, a lot of really good people, a lot of wonderful partners, and a community that at the end of the day it basically walks its talk and defines its actions by we're going to help, and they do.
Yes, and we go back to our purpose at Broad River for furnishing life's best memories. So it's furnishing, you talk about furnishing that book. It's a memory for a kid. They remember that. They remember how they felt when they received that.
You have I can't even really call it a commercial. It's a message, really. It's been on the air since before I got there, and I just had my 5-year anniversary. And it is the most moving, and I have the same feeling today when I see it as I did 5 years ago when I first saw it. And the image is it's a dark screen, and you hear voices, and you hear the voice of what sounds like a mother with children, and you hear the absolute delight on what you've done in that furnishing department, where a child comes in, we have a table, you see, where we can sit down and eat, and you hear the delight, in these children. That's
pretty powerful, isn't it?
It is. It's the type of stuff that makes all the other challenges with a day job worth it when you see those moments come. And the other is, the sort of the camaraderie and the spirit that it creates with our partners, and in Ashley's case, just the commitment that you've made to make a difference, and you have made a real world difference.
Yes, and that's what ultimately we're here for is to make a difference and give back to the community. So I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to say thank you for being here, but I'm not done with you yet. So right here we go. So buckle up. We're going to talk about what you did this summer.
Oh.
First of all, did you have a vacation?
So this has been the summer of Tim and his house.
Okay. So you had staycation.
Well, it's been my house was built in 1938. Okay. And it has been renovated, but it painted inside, outside, and last weekend installed my wife, Mary Perry. We wanted a new front door, And of course, this one was 2 inches wider and 2 inches taller than the last one. So there was a lot of projects. It was definitely a 2-person job. And fortunately, the other person knew what they were doing. And so that's kind of my summer. My summer's been one project after another, but I have had managed to get out of town a little bit. And I've been able to get to places there I can get away from a screen for a little bit.
Yes.
I've got a brother-in-law who has a place in Miami. I've been hitting that, and it's just really nice.
Okay,
Very generous,
so
very
let's
kind.
talk about Miami. I'm going to spark some memories here. So I've got some rapid fire questions
here we go.
about favorite summertime memories and
Okay.
maybe some choices that you'll make.
Okay.
So, would you choose to sit by the pool or swim in that ocean in Miami?
There's a thing called the Zen walk in the pool. And honestly, I'm addicted to the Zen walk.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. It's Zen. If you could have an endless supply of any summer treat, what would it be?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
I'm an ice creamaholic. I
Okay.
love ice cream. I have to.
Me too.
I have to manage it. There's a Jenny's too close
Yes.
to my house.
It could be a problem.
Well, and then if I'm not hitting that, there's a yogurt place literally like a block from my house. So,
Yeah.
it's ice cream. Easy,
So it's ice cream.
Easy answer.
Okay, so ice cream or popsicles? Still ice cream?
Ice cream
Ice
is going to
cream.
win because you get a lot of range in ice cream.
Okay, a lot of range with
Yeah.
ice cream. Okay, flip-flops or slides?
Oh, flip-flops.
Oh, okay.
Flip-flops.
Flip-flops.
Yeah,
You're flip-flop guy.
flip-flops, yeah.
Roller coasters or water slides?
I'm a roller coaster man.
Okay.
I am a roller coaster
That's fun.
man. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fun. Both arms up
I
or
like the
holding on?
G-forces, both. I mean, one of my favorite pictures of me and my daughter are we were at Disney World, and we're both going down this roller coaster, arms in the air,
Arms in the air.
just screaming our lungs out. And there's other people in the picture, and there's other people doing that, and there's just one guy sitting there like he's just bored out of his head watching. It's like, what do you do for a living? Do you fix roller coasters for a living?
Maybe they.
But I love roller coasters.
Oh, awesome. Okay, and vacation transportation. What is your choice, plane or road trip?
Oh, I like to get there. I want a plane.
You want-
Yeah,
okay, you want a plane.
I like to get there, and because I never have enough time.
Yes.
It's always that battle where I want to get there and unplug as fast as I can. So.
Okay. Well, that's incredible. So thanks for sharing
Oh.
that. Thanks for taking us a little bit down that lane. And and thanks for making the trip here during your summertime. You see what I did there. So thanks for making the trip over to take some time to shine a light on Nine Family Focus and what, our partnership and what we're doing in the community. It's been great having you, and look forward to many more years partnering with you.
Well, thank you. So it was an honor and a privilege and a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tim.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.